Yeah, no, that's fine. Because I was thinking, I mean, back when I was growing up, a lot of times what I hated the most is I'd ask a question, it's like, oh, because I said so. That's a bullshit answer. It's
Yeah,
a really
that
crappy
is.
answer when parents give that.
It is.
I think it's standards and independence. I think there's a lack of standards now. I think there were things. It was a lot more reciprocal back in the day.
Like this argument is dumb. And I was saying that the other day on my show. I said people really don't want solutions. You know why? Because if you give them the solutions and you actually apply it, you got nothing else to talk about. That's it.
That's some hell no. Hey, all a man need is him to damn get some ass, some head, cook and clean. No ma'am. I can get a prostitute for that and hire a maid. And I might get a combo deal and have one that can do both.
So, my opinion as far as less marriages are happening because of men.
Mhm.
I think it is because of men. Because like, I mean, half of them want men instead of women. So, I mean, you can marry a man, but you know why? Why get married nowadays? But I think most men don't want to get married, and I think getting married really started from back, for property, for men to be able to claim their property, and they put women in
Power,
there,
title.
and that, yeah. So for the way it is right now, marriages don't hold, marriages don't stay. It's rare that you see somebody married, even though I do know some people that are married like 20 something years, 30 something years, but
Hey you.
yeah, it's I think it is men. Plus, it's a whole lot of women. Why? Like, way more women than men in this world. So that's another reason why men is probably like, forget that. So I don't know.
So it is men's fault. Is what you're saying?
I feel like it is.
Oh, oh
I
man.
feel like it
Okay,
is.
okay.
Most women want to get married. What I don't. I
Do they
don't know
want to get
most
married
women
to
that
men
don't want to
though?
get married.
Do they want to get married to men though?
But do they want to behave like they want to be married? That's the whole part. We just dancing over. It's probably both.
You ain't
It's
asked
both.
that. You was just like, whose fault you think it is.
We ain't dance over. I did say it was both. You
I
just
think
wasn't listening.
I think it's both. For me, I think it's both. I think that the woman's dynamic has shifted more toward an independence mindset, to where
Yes.
I'm only focusing on one part of a marriage, which is who can take care of what. That's the only part I'm focused on. So because I got that covered, then I don't need a man. I don't. I'm good. I don't need emotional security. I don't need none of that. I buy a dog. I don't need none of that, right? So then the dudes are like, they starting to see this trend, and they're gonna assume they putting it on everyone and generalizing to where, well, shit, I don't want to be married at all to that shit. Like, because I don't care about what you got going on. Because inside of me, I want to have. If I marry you, I have no damn purpose. Like, what's my purpose? Like, I have no purpose now. Like, yeah, I can go work on things that I want to work on. So, but why am I married to you? I can do this same thing by myself. Then you have a handful of women who say, I want to be married. Shit. Well, okay, you want to be married, but are you ready to, like, are you exhibiting wife behavior? Like, what do you mean wife behavior? Being agreeable, listening, submission, all of that. Hell no. Hey, all a man need is him to damn get some ass, some head, cook and clean. No ma'am. I can get a prostitute for that and hire a maid. And I might get a combo deal and have one that can do both. So no. That's not gonna get the ring, boo. That's not gonna get the ring. You know how much cheaper it is to just hire a prostitute, and if you get the combo special where this motherfucker can cook and clean, are you good? That's way cheaper than the whole wife. I promise.
Hold on, no, let's get some other people's voices in here. CJ, my man, you've been waiting. What's up, man? Talk to me.
No, man, I'm just listening, bro. This is I love it. It's funny.
But that's
Um,
what men
but I agree with Neek.
Can y'all hear me?
I think
Yes,
I
we hear
think
you.
oh I think most men don't want to get married. They don't see any benefit. They're smart. I mean, so I guess in a sense, I think a lot of women have ruined it. For a lot of women of old have ruined it. So I guess in a sense, it's both parties' fault. But men control access to marriage, and most men are like, "F that. Why would I do that?"
Right.
Like, there's no incentive. There's no real benefit no more. So whether you do it or not, that's cool
I
either
got a
way.
different
But
point of view on that. I got a different point of view on
I
I
that.
just
mean,
think,
like same here because I got two views on it because I'm on like the married side still, but I have orphan daughters, right? I have three daughters. One just graduated college. One graduated high school in 2020, and my youngest she starts high school later on this year. And I hear this topic a lot. Like it goes around a lot because I have a lot of single friends, right? Like female, like they're female, black, educated women, and a lot of them we talk about this, and my homeboys too, right? So what I've seen and what I noticed is that, of course, not every woman is a bad woman, right? Not every woman's trying to be like I'm a Cardi B, right? That's just there. But the problem is that what I'm seeing out there is that too many women idolize Cardi B in them and they want the bag, right? Like I said earlier, they want the bag, they want this, they want everything that goes along with marriage, except for what they got to do to keep a marriage. I've been married over 20 years. It has been easy, but we still make it work, you know. And I'm concerned more and more now every day because, like I said, I have all girls, and they've been in a two-parent household their whole life, right? Their whole life. But I want to bring this up because one time my daughter, she questioned my wife, why would she bring me food? I'm like, hold on. Like, right? So wifey handled it though. She said, well, because he's your father, he's a man in the dumb house, da, 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 right? I'm like, yeah, like you've seen this your whole life coming up. Your mom serving me, I'm taking care of things in the house. You mean like we're working as a team? But the reason why I'm saying that is because even with a two-family household, the outside, the outside part is so strong now
Yes,
that
sir.
my daughter, who's seen this her whole life, questioned it because they have her ear more than we do. Even though she sees that example every day in, day out, she's questioning it now. I'm like, don't question it. I'm like, if it's not for you, okay, but you do see it does work. It can work. It's healthy. It
Can I say
can work.
something
But
though?
like, yeah, sure, sure.
Wouldn't it make sense for her to question it though, and you to give her the answers?
Yes, yes. And that's
Like,
what, and that's why her mom. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, that's fine. Because I was thinking, I mean, back when I was growing up, a lot of times what I hated the most is I'd ask a question, it's like, oh, because I said so. That's a bullshit answer. It's
Yeah,
a really
that
crappy
is.
answer when parents give that.
It is. I
There's
don't do that.
sometimes I will say this though. There's sometimes where kids will just oh but why oh but why and they don't give a crap what they're asking for. They just want to annoy you. But then there's sometimes where
Yeah,
kids just don't understand, and it's sometimes better to just explain it to them. Hey, this is why I do this because he is the man of the house. He is providing, and for him to keep up his strength, I would much rather bring him this so he could keep the beautiful house that we have. You don't want to lose this, do you? No. Okay, well then we need to do what we can to help dad. So, and this is my way of helping him.
that's
So she
perfectly
sees
said.
that okay, there's an importance to that balance. But I'm sorry to cut you off though.
No, no,
Continue.
no, no, no. I'm saying like that's perfect. Like what you said is perfect. Like my wife tried to actually tell her, and she told her in the best way that she could. But like I said, it was just funny because, like I said, you've seen this your whole life, and a lot of her friends have like single parent households. So I get it. You know what I mean? So I know that she's hearing stuff when she's out. Like it's always gonna be like that conflict, because right now the message is men are ish, right? Men are trash, right? That's the message now. Men are trash, and so I've said because I had got banned because I post too much. Really, I got banned once almost, but I had to put out this little rant about men aren't ish, and I had a lot of topics on it. But at the end of the whole day was that a lot of women now, and I'm not saying all, but it's some seem like they don't want to take accountability for what happens. Because I keep hearing that he has 10 kids, right? He has five kids, right. He has all these baby mamas. But what you don't hear is that These baby mamas willingly laid down with him and made those kids, right? So when you say that, now there's a problem. I'm just saying, if you knew he had 4 or 5 kids, why are you giving him another one, right? Like why? Like why are we doing this? But when you question it, all of a sudden I'm a bad man. Like I'm bad women, and I'm saying this because mainly in my family it's female heavy, and this is sad. Like it bothers me. My mother, my sisters, my all of what my mom, my sisters, and my nieces, all single black women, educated, still single. My mom is still single to this day. She's almost 70. And I'm like, I know my father died a while back, like years ago, but to have my mother, my 2 sisters, my nieces, I have 3 nieces, all single. They have this mindset. They just don't want a man. They feel that they can do bad by themselves. And I'm like, well, I'm the outcast there now, right? I'm the son that went and got married and made it work. So when you say men aren't ish, I'm like, what are you saying about me then? Right? Those are those talks that get real heavy. I'm like, yo, hold on. Like, you can't be saying that.
I just want to
Can
say,
I?
I'm sorry, but you said that women give men babies, but women don't give men babies. Women are the receiver. That man and that woman did lay down together, but that man gave that woman the baby. Y'all sperm is alive and moving, and it finds my dead egg and gives it life. So she baked the baby, but that man made that baby. That
It's
man gave
consensual.
that baby.
Yes, it is
No, she's
consensual,
dumb and
but
he's dumb too.
yeah,
They're
that's what I'm
equally
saying. It is.
responsible.
Thank you, and that's what I'm saying. Why is it only
I'm
being
not saying
told
that they're
that?
not equally responsible,
Oh,
but
okay,
he was
because
just
that's
saying that the woman gave this man a baby. And it's like, no, the man gave her the baby and the woman kept the baby.
okay, but it still falls on her that she could have said yes or no still, right? She could have said have
It
sex.
falls on both because
It
she
does
did
fall on
get
both,
pregnant, but that man could have worn a condom. That man
and
could have
that's
also not laid down with that woman. I
and
don't
that's a
like
gray
when
area.
it's so heavily on one side than the other.
I agree with you on that, but I'm talking from the men's view, and I do agree with you. It is a 2-way street, but far too often we hear that he's a deadbeat dad, and that's why I just said. But if you knew he had other kids prior to you, why are you giving him another kid? That's why I said it that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Is like there's too much of that saying that well, men just have babies everywhere. I'm like, well, like I said, but you took like you took half in that though. You know what I mean? It was half and half. But it's only told that men are just popping out babies. I'm like, no, we're not just popping out babies everywhere. It's just that it's 2 people. But we get told that we're the deadbeats. That's kind of raw to me. Great, yes, it is out there, but it's still like a one-sided deal saying that men are deadbeats. And you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of weird.
Okay,
After all
let's
these
get
years.
let's get Chris's view on this. Chris, what are we talking?
I think it's standards and independence. I think there's a lack of standards now. I think there were things. It was a lot more reciprocal back in the day. Men needed something. They wanted sex. They wanted the support, and in order to get that, they had to marry the woman. And not only did the woman require that, but her family did. Like in order for you to even get close to her, you have to talk to her father, and her father had to give you, his blessing and all of that. And I think that that family unit has broken down so much over the years that we don't see that anymore. And I think part of that goes into independence and how that's evolved. Where I think parents. I think some parents have a mindset that once their child is grown, they're grown, and they just kind of let them live their lives. Not all of them, of course. I think my parents are still fairly involved. But I do see that very often where parents kind of just like throw their hands up and okay, whatever happens, happens. Like I did my job. And it's become normal for parents to not be involved with their children because they kind of feel like they're overstepping. But I do wish that involvement still existed. And then lastly, I think there is a lack of understanding of like duty and responsibility. One theory that I have is that 50, 60 years ago plus, the freedom that they had was earned. Like they had to work for it. They understood that with freedom came responsibility. I think now we reap the benefits of that freedom, and it made us very entitled. And so like the work that's required for a marriage to work and to even get married, we're not willing to put in that work. We think that it's supposed to just come to us. But marriage takes work. And getting married, getting to the point of being marriage material takes work. And I don't think we're willing to put that in.
So I heard a different perspective when I was on Anton Daniel's channel. Kayla, she was one of the guys on there. KJ was saying, women are the one leaving divorces. Women are picking the wrong guys. XYZ, blah blah blah. The usual argument. And she said, yes, women are doing that. Women don't have to stay with men who aren't treating them right anymore. Women don't have to, because women can now sustain their own life. Yeah, women would say, realistically, I don't need a man because they don't need men. So where I think this falls on men is that women have to adjust to the work life, the work world. And now that they realize, okay, I don't have to stay with a guy that I don't necessarily find any kind of emotional attachment to just because he has money. And what's the big battle that's going on right now? I would say since the Kevin Samuels boom, the high value man, a lot of guys now like, oh, I make a lot of money. Like, why aren't you going to like me? And it's like, well, it's not about you making a lot of money. You can make all that money. If anything, you're just going to get finessed if you make all that money. But the fact is, you're not getting the chance. You're not taking the chance to get to know me. You're not actually, you're trying to come at me with your money, and you're trying to come at me for sex. You did nothing else beyond that to try to get to know me. So I think that's why I would say it falls a little bit more on men, because now that women are sustaining their own life, they don't necessarily have to stick with a guy.